Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am delighted to be with you today in studio, our first live event of Hudson County Review. I'm your host, you know me as the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the women's pet, the men's regret, what you see is what you get and what you don't is better yet. John R. Highness, and I am more excited than usual to see you folks today. It's really a delight, a pleasure, and a privilege to come from you in studio at the Hudson Media Group. So I think we have a fantastic show ahead of us today. We're going to be talking about the West New York and North Bergen municipal elections, Jersey City Together stepping up to the plate against Mayor Stephen Fulop, and my colleague Mark Bucinich will be talking to you about the new Suez deal in Hoboken, as well as the state of the city address from Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis. Before we get into it, we also are going to sit down with our Hudson County executive, Tom DeGees. But before we get into all of that, just a quick word from our sponsors.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
So you folks that have been following the West New York race have really been privileged, I would say. This has been something special. I think one of the most fun elections I have been able to partake with from the sidelines. And everyone was hoping for a battle royale at last night's Board of Commissioners meeting was certainly not disappointed. Both sides let it all hang out. Police were involved. Operatives were moving and shaking in every which way. I think the clip could speak better than I can, so I'll just let it speak for itself.
By dissolving the parking authority, what are we gaining out of this? Because no, excuse me, Commissioner Rodriguez, I'm speaking to Commissioner Solil. So the last time there were studies made by the parking authority, they were actually making profit. They were actually making money, whereas before it was bankrupt. So I just don't understand. Is this a hidden agenda to give developers airspace so they could build more in our town?
Saving taxpayer money corrupt, then you don't understand the definition of corruption.
Well, I can understand
so
that.
I'm going to yield my time to Commissioner Rodriguez.
You can't answer the question. You got to have your buddy help you out. Well, I'm asking you the question. Answer me. You're the one that proposed it. Answer me the question.
I proposed it.
Oh, you proposed it? Okay, answer me.
If you're paying attention, you would know that I proposed it.
Okay, answer me.
If you're not paying attention, you're not around. We're going to go to build more parking spaces for our residents. So while you're over here talking about corruption, okay, which, you know, that's another conversation around to itself.
Listen to this, everybody. This is very important. I want you to pay attention to this question. Are they marketing your campaign, yes or no?
You asked the town attorney for this information. You already had it.
Are they marketing the town? Because I see in Vision Media the new beginnings. And I hate to arbitrage you right here, but...
That doesn't have anything to do with the town, okay? That doesn't have anything to do with the town.
Okay, how much?
The town is paying. That doesn't have
Okay, but
anything
they
to do
can't
with
do both.
Don't mislead the public. Don't
They
mislead
can't
the
do marketing
public.
for the town and marketing for you. That's
Don't
illegal.
confuse the
Anyway,
public.
that's why I'm passing the resolution.
Don't
to prevent
confuse
that.
the public.
what's illegal.
It might not be illegal, it might be, it's very unethical. Very unethical.
I have always been proud to say I'm from West New York. I'm a teacher in West New York. Not anymore. because of the corruption in this town with the nominations that this mayor has nominated.
Lower your voices.
You keep taking shots at Nancy and Hollenbeck. Wasn't it you who signed off on Mario Blanche as the attorney for the West New York? Was it you, Mayor, who signed off on Mario Blanche?
Don't you have 3 domestic violence charges against you, pal?
Prove it! Prove it! Prove it! You got no balls! Prove it! You got no...
There'll be no more political retaliation if you win. I'm not asking you to comment on any one individual case. I'm asking you to comment on the concept of retaliation.
At this time, I don't want to comment on anything. Thank you.
What else can I tell you? Only in West New York. So if you haven't seen the video, I suggest you check it out. It was actually our highest performing live video to date. Over 200 comments, a number of shares, and people are clearly interested in this race. On that note, let me bring in Hudson County Executive Tom DeGees, our first guest ever in studio. Tom, it's once again, let me just say, a pleasure and privilege for you to come, especially on short notice.
I'm glad to be here, John, the master of disaster and all those other things. And I'm honored to be your first case. You know, you and I have worked together before, and good for you. You're taking it up a step and everything, and I'm sure you'll be successful.
Thank you, Tom. That does mean a lot. It's great to hear. So, first thing I wanted to talk about today, I know that there's been some coverage, and it's of course been in your past 2 State of the City addresses. We're talking about the new Hudson County Courthouse. This is roughly a $300 million endeavor.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the number came out in the paper. I think Freeholder O'Day mentioned the 300. Well, I'm not quite ready to sign off on any price tag at this point. You know, from the beginning until the end of the project, I'm going to be looking for ways to try to shave it off. But the 300 million is, you know, something that could happen, or at least approaching that, which would make it by far the largest endeavor that the county ever took. You know, we opened up the high school in Secaucus, the high-tech high school, and that was $157 million. And at the time, I thumped my chest a little bit, saying, this is the biggest thing that we've ever built. Well, it's not going to keep the record for long. But, you know, for the reasons that are pretty obvious, we need a new courthouse. This is something that should have been done 20 years ago. And the size of the project, I think, scared a lot of people, including me. I've been county executive for 17 years, and I always had it in the back of my head, I'll let the next guy, you know, tackle that because it needs to be done. But when I've hung around so long, I am the next guy. And, you know, so we're gonna, you know, with Judge Bariso, the cooperation of the Freeholder Board, you know, we're gonna try to make this happen. If you've been in my neighborhood on Newark Avenue lately,
sure,
all the property has been acquired. You know, across the street from 595, the old courthouse, not Brennan Courthouse, just down the block a little bit. We've purchased and received as gifts from Frank Guarini all of the land that is necessary.
And what's the address?
Well, we don't have an address yet. There isn't a building there. But all of the properties, the surface parking lots, Cook Plumbing, you know, some of the city had a parking lot in the back off 139. It took us years and about $30 million to acquire all that property. And now we're there, and we're putting in the infrastructure that is needed. You know, Central Avenue, I live up in the Heights, you're familiar with the area. If you're on Central Avenue, Main Street, the Main Street in the Heights, and you go to 139, it stops there. You know, you have to make a left, you have to make a right, because Central Avenue stops there. And then when you get to the courthouse, it opens up again. So there's a margin of about a quarter of a mile that for whatever reason somebody made it into a closed thing. So the first order of business we're doing is we're opening up Central Avenue so cars will be able to go straight through. Oh. And Oakland Avenue, which is the other end of where we'll be building, is going to be, with the cooperation of the city, we're going to acquire some of the right-of-way there, make Oakland Avenue into a major two-way street. And that will, and Cook Street, the little tiny street that leads right into the courthouse, will be closed. And that will be the footprint for the new courthouse and a garage. We're eating up every bit of available parking spaces, for our project. And we know what that'll wreak havoc in that neighborhood, where people live and they need parking spaces. So the first structure that people will see going up, probably before the end of this year, and in the fall, will be a parking garage of about 590 cars that will be in the back by 139. But it's a project that we expect will take 3 or 4 years. I'm lucky enough that I work in Brennan Courthouse, the building that's over 100 years old.
Yes.
And when you compare that to its companion building, the 595 that we're going to knock down there, if you do it right, it'll last 100 years. If you don't do it right, then your building becomes obsolete well before its time. So the one thing that when I decided, with my staff that we were going to do this, we were going to tackle it, the one thing that I'm going to insist upon is that we do it right.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So knock on wood, everything goes according to plan. When do you think shovels will be in the ground?
Well, shovels will be in the ground for the parking garage before the end of the year. Once that is complete, then we all along we'll be putting in pipes and electric service, cable service lines, with the, in order to prepare for the structure. So it will probably be sometime next year before the actual courthouse will start to come together. We got to take care of the roads there, and then we got to take care of the parking, and then after that will come the actual building of the courthouse.
Okay, very good. On a different topic, Mr. County Executive, obviously something else you spoke about at your State of the County address was the new opioid task force. So I know you started off by telling us that Sheriff Frank Scileri is going to be a part of that, and of course you've since announced many others. So just tell us about some other people in the group, or on the task force specifically, and why you thought this was a good time to get this ball rolling.
Well, the guy that we want to lead the thing, Eddie DeFazio, was a judge. And Ed will not be able to serve as a judge, but he will be leaving the employ of that. I hope I didn't say something that I wasn't supposed to say. But then he has agreed that he feels a connection to the effort that we're making, and he'll be the leader of the group. Beyond that, people like me will have a representative there. It'll be representatives from the Freeholder Board. And, I think that what we found out when we were talking about this and then putting it together is that the crisis has hit everybody. I'm not going to, even with me, with some personal losses that have been suffered by me and my family over the years, that all of us are invested in this in somehow. And it's a crisis that goes across all different types of lines of age, of ethnicity, of wealth, rich people, poor people. It affects everybody. So when it came time to ask people if they would like to serve on this board, that would help find solutions for the problem, particularly locally, that everybody said yes to that, because there's something in their history, their friends, their family, that rings a bell when you start talking about it, and the idea of trying to help with that is very appealing to them.
Okay, so we have a lot more with Tom DeGees, but just going to take a quick break with our sponsor, and we will be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital, as ranked by U.S. News and World Report. Hudson County's only hospital to receive an A safety score rating. Jersey City Medical Center is Hudson County's only hospital to receive the prestigious Magnet Award for Nursing Excellence. Make the #1 hospital in Hudson County your first choice for quality health care. Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the web at libertyhealth.org. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hey, I'm a man of my word. Look at that. We're back. And we're still with Tom DeGees. So, Tom, I got nothing against good policy, but, I really enjoy the politics. So let's talk
I used to like it, John. Not so much anymore.
What year was that, or years was that?
Yeah, well, I've been doing it since 1993. It was when I was first elected. But before that, I was a ward leader, for Jerry McCann in the 80s. I was president of block associations. I was president of the Coalition of Block Associations. And in those days, it was very exciting, and a lot of it was new. I was always kind of taking another step up with it, and I enjoyed it. But, it could, like everything else, it gets old after a while.
And I guess after county exec, there's not a whole lot of moves to make. Well, I guess there could be. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I wanted to ask you about these North Hudson elections. So obviously, it's no secret to anybody that is watching this or will watch this that last year, Mayor Roque went with State Senator Brian Stack in the Democratic chair race, and Senator Sacco went with Amy, of course, your daughter. So, now there's going to be some implications, I would think, in these upcoming May races. So give me your thoughts on what's unfolding there.
Well, in North Bergen, Nick Sacco and I have been friends and allies for a long time. And it's been fruitful for both of us. And, the Nick Sacco I know, that you get to know him both professionally and politically and personally. He's a man of his word. He's a guy, if he looks you in the eye and shakes your hand and says he's going to do something, it's done there. And I try to do the same kind of thing. And so our relationship has had very few bumps in the road, and Nick runs a great shop up in North Bergen. And now that he's running for re-election with his team, I don't think it's surprising to anyone that I would be supporting him. Everybody talks about Nick and his political prowess, and he's very, very capable. He's a political genius, But the reason that he wins so easily and so large in North Bergen is because he delivers the best services of any city in the county. And, their DPW, their police department and fire are second to none. And, when it snows, most of North Bergen is on a cliff down there. He gets the snow off of that, and he delivers for the people there. You can't, politically can get you in the door and get you candidacy, but when all the people come out and vote, most of them don't work in public jobs or anything, but they see with Nick, their taxes have been in control, their city services have been good. So I'm with Nick. It would be inconceivable why this guy wants to keep running against him. I don't know. It's like running into a brick wall over and over again. In West New York, I'm very supportive of the Young ticket, the Young Dems ticket with Gabe and Cosmo and Margarita, and that. Number one, for their affiliation with Albio Ceres. I think Albio and I have been friends since college.
Yes, I do.
And political allies ever since then. He's my oldest friend in politics. But a little bit more than that, like last year you alluded to the contest between Brian Stack and my daughter Amy there. There were some towns that everybody knew what was going to happen. Union City, was going to go with Brian. North Bergen was going to go with Amy on a thing. But West New York was a battleground. In West New York, you heard it both ways. and that Brian Stack was very popular up in West New York, and that he would win the day up there as a candidate with the heavy Latino population and stuff. And he swarmed the area with a lot of his people to get in there. And that night, when the results came in, and the ticket that was supporting Amy came in winning 49 out of 58 or something.
Yeah, that was about it. I think it might have been 48 or 49.
I knew we were going to win. That was the question. And the same night that happened, Harrison, which had 22 committee people, also had a committee race. And people came in from around the county and also out of the county to campaign for Brian at that. And Jim Fife and his crew in Harrison won 22-0 there. So whenever I speak in West New York, I always tell them that this is the Battle of Saratoga was fought here, because that's considered to be the turning point in the Revolutionary War.
Quick history lesson.
Yeah, and once that happened was about 2 weeks before the convention that would ultimately pick the next Democratic leader here, and that was Amy. I knew that we had him. I knew that we won, and so my relationship with West New York has been a strong one. They have a strong ticket with young people. I think Amy's election really ushered in a feeling amongst the politicians and the public that it's time to get younger. You know, you can't all have white hair. You know, there should be room for everybody under the tent of a political party. And certainly senior leaders like myself and Nick, Brian, you know, should be welcomed here for our wealth of experience and what we bring. But I think it's part of our job also is to open up the doors to the next generation of leadership here. And in West New York, I can't think of a better example of that. You know, they got accomplished young people that if they're elected, you know, are all about the future. They could count on the old farts like me and Albio and that to guide them along and help them out as best we can and offer advice and whatever else it is they need. But it's, I think, a process that is going around nationally. More women involved in the political process and certainly more young people involved in it. And so there's a lot of good reasons for me to be back in the West New York ticket with Gabe and Cosmo and Margarita.
Very good. Mr. County Executive, always a pleasure.
All right, John.
Thanks so much.
Good seeing. Good luck with the gig. Anything I can do.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. Of course, we're still going. This is just one of our many segments that is yet to come. Just take a look at this commercial, and we'll be right back with you.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm with my esteemed colleague, Mark Bucinich, And of course, Mark, this week you were over in Hoboken and Bayonne, but first things first, we were talking about this new water contract in the Mile Square City. Obviously, they're no stranger to main breaks over there, which has led to potholes, and people have a lot of complaints about the driving, et cetera. So just tell us a little bit about this new deal and what you heard at this press conference.
Yeah, of course. Well, first things first, John, congratulations on your first live stream studio, and what better day to have your first live stream in the studio on a big breaking news day when the Mueller report finally gets released to the public. So
that's another story, but yes, thank you, Mark, and thanks for joining me.
Congratulations, by the way. But yeah, of course, it was at the city outside City Hall in Hoboken last week, where Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala announced a new $33 million water services contract. He was joined there by a few council people, and what a turnaround in events, because it was just last summer when the city, led by Mayor Ravi Bala, wanted to sue Suez because of all the water main breaks last summer. 15, I think, and is the actual number. And also the city council vote in September to do away with Suez as the city's water provider, services provider. So it was a big turnaround, a big change of events. And we had an opportunity to interview Councilwoman Tiffany Fisher, that is, to ask her about, well, what changed from September to now. And she explained to us that, well, at the time they were really upset and frustrated with all the water main breaks, but given Suez's long knowledge and history of Hoboken's water system, and of course the new contract that they were able to reach, where it'll provide revenues back to the city, and also with no reduction, as she explained, no reduction in step rates for residents. She feels confident that City Council will vote for a new contract with Suez.
Right, okay, and for those of you that aren't aware, there was also a Hoboken City Council meeting last night, kind of took the seat to the West New York Board of Commissioners for obvious reasons, but they did pass the first reading of that ordinance, so, only one more hurdle to clear. So, Mark, briefly, obviously, time flies when you're having fun. We're running a little short, but tell us about the state of the city in Bayonne quickly.
Oh, that was really interesting too, John. It was at the Villa Maria on Broadway in Bayonne, and Mayor Jimmy Davis had a lot to talk about the accomplishments and initiatives that his city is undertaking, and he mentioned obviously some of the main features or some of those main achievements have been obviously residential development, but not without controversy. And also the big news that came out of his State of the City speech was that the call to reorganize Bayonne's school system, as well as a capital plan in order to build brand new schools, because many of the school buildings there right now are like over 100 years old.
Yes. Mark, very well done. Thank you. Your pleasure and a privilege, like Mayor Roque said to Commissioner Cirillo yesterday. I love you, man.
All right, same here, John. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. It was excellent. I will be doing this weekly. I hope you'll all be tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your ward leaders, your council reps, your mayors, your assembly people. We'll be here. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. That's why you need me, and I need you. See you next week.